Well, good morning, brothers and sisters. This Tuesday, we are in Matthew chapter 25 in our daily devotion, so I hope you've already read the chapter. Matthew 25 is a continuation, if you will, of chapter 24. Sometimes the chapter divisions interrupt the flow of what's being taught and written in the Gospels. And of course, you know the chapters and verses are man-made. They're an addition, something that scholars over the years added to the text of the Bible to help us find our place when we're reading it. Otherwise, can you imagine trying to find where you were at in the Bible? But sometimes where the chapters divisions occurred, how the verses are divided up, can break the flow, the thought pattern if you're not careful. So chapter 25 really is a continuation of chapter 24. And you'll remember I said yesterday that in chapter 24, Jesus is giving us an overview of the arc of human history between the time he was sitting on the Mount of Olives looking back at the temple with his disciples and describing its destruction, and the second coming, the end of the age, and everything in between. And we said yesterday that he tells us in chapter 24 that our focus during all that history is evangelism, taking the gospel to the nations, taking the gospel to lost people next door. In chapter 24, chapter 24 ends. The last thing in chapter 24 is Jesus saying that no one knows when he's coming back, so you need to be ready. Well, chapter 25 contains three parables that describe the attitude you and I are supposed to have, what we are supposed to be doing while we wait for the second coming, what we are to be doing, taking the gospel to the nations. What are we supposed to be doing as we do that? Well, he begins just by reminding us in the first 12 verses of 25 with the parable of the 10 virgins that you need to always be ready because you don't ever know when he's coming back. And so if you think, well, I'm just going to slough off, and then I know he's going to come, and just before I know he shows up, I'm going to get my act together. Doesn't work that way. He's going to come like a thief in the night. He'll catch you off guard. You won't be ready, and that will not be a good thing. So stop waiting. Stop waiting for things to change in your life before you serve Jesus. Stop waiting for things to get better before you serve Jesus. Stop waiting until you do such and such before you serve Jesus. Stop waiting. Stop waiting. Be ready. Get involved. All in. All the time. Right now. That's what the intelligent person does. And then in verses 14 through 30, the parable of the talents. The one that was given 5, 2, and 1 talent, and the 5 doubled his to 10, the 2 to 4, and the 1 buried it, etc. And that worthless one was called wicked and lazy and worthless, and was thrown into outer darkness where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth in verse 30. So be using your resources, your talents, your resources to serve Jesus. And then the chapter ends, verses 31 to 46, with the parable, the story of the sheep and the goats, and the division of the goats and the sheep, the saved and the lost. And that being based in part on how you treat people. I was hungry, you fed me; thirsty, you gave me something to drink; stranger, you took me in; I was in prison, you came to visit me. When did we do this? When you did it to the least of these, Jesus said you did it to me. So 3 things in this chapter. As we wait for the second coming and we take the gospel to the nations, we're to always be ready. Never sloughing off and putting off saying later or when. Get busy with it now. The second thing is whatever talents you have, your abilities and your skills, your intellect, your experiences, your resources, your money, your house, your car, your talents, everything. Use it now to serve Jesus. Not down the road, not later. Right now, use it to serve Jesus, because those who truly follow Jesus use their talents, and those who don't use their talents are not really following Jesus. And then finally, how you treat people. How you treat people, especially hurting people and people in need. And so as we take the gospel to the world, 3 things we're to do is just keep after it. Don't wait. Don't put it off. Be ready. Use our talents and resources to serve. and help people who are hurting. That's how you live. That's how you're ready for the second coming of Jesus. Are you living that way? Or are you putting it off, saying, you know, I'm going to get around to it? Are you living this way? Or are you saying, you know, I can't give right now. You know, I don't have time to serve right now. Are you finding ways to use your talents? And what are you doing to help people? Or people who are hurting, people who have needs, people who are lonely, people who are struggling. Jesus made it really clear what we're supposed to be doing. And when he comes back, he better find us doing those things, or we'll regret it big time. Hey, I'll see you tomorrow. And Happy New Year. That's coming up real soon.